What's good? It's your boy Dreebo, man, and today I'm breaking down 5 truths about being an independent artist. And this ain't that sugar-coated stuff. It's not that stuff that I've heard from somebody else and somebody else. This is from my real experience, and this is the stuff they don't give you when you decide to go all in on your music career. Let's get into it. Truth number 1, you gotta wear every hat. You gotta wear every hat, man. When you're an independent artist, you gotta be the artist, you gotta be the manager, you gotta be everything. You gotta do it all. You gotta learn it all. You gotta do it all. That's the only way to win. You the marketing team, you the A&R, the videographer at some point, you the merch person. Like, you gotta do it all. Because one, there's a thing of like, you can't really put somebody in position if you don't know how to do the position first. And then there's also a thing of, there ain't nobody to do the position. So therefore, if something gotta get done and there's nobody there to do it, you don't have a choice. You just gotta figure it out. So, you gotta learn Photoshop. You gotta run ads, you gotta write emails, you gotta book shows, all while trying to make the best music possible. So it's not easy, and a lot of times it's overwhelming, but going into it, that's something that you need to be aware of. It's like, I gotta do it all. I gotta learn everything, and it forces you to learn the game when you do that, because you learn the ins and outs of so many different positions. And a lot of times you may go into it wanting to be the artist, and because you're an independent artist, you learn how to be the A&R or the manager or the marketing team or whatever, and that might be where your passion lies or where your talent lies, and then you end up moving in that direction and then seeing a bigger opportunity from there. Truth number 2, consistency is more important than talent. That's just the goddamn bottom line. Consistency is more important than talent. You could be the most talented motherfucker in the world, and unfortunately, the world gives no fucks. Because if you aren't consistently putting yourself and your art in front of the people, they won't find you. And so at the end of the day, like, music has turned into a content game. If you're not consistent, you won't consistently gain fans. You're really gonna go backwards because the algorithm doesn't support when you don't post, right? So, and a lot of times you think consistency and you think it costs money, but a lot of times you can be creative. You can just do different things in different ways. You might have to invest a little bit in order to just get what you need, but you can be creative in the ways that you put out your content that supports or promotes your music. Speaking of money, that leads me to truth number 3. And that's money matters. Okay? I know on the internet, a lot of people make it seem like their life is more than what it is, right? Or they're doing so much more than what they're doing, and that it's only the music, right? Like, that's just not reality as an independent artist, especially in 2025. Like, you have to diversify your income. Well, what's the 7 streams theory, where it's like every millionaire has 7 streams of income? Like, think like that. Even if my music is doing well, I gotta have something else bringing in some bread, because at any point in time, your music cannot do that well, or a release cannot do that well. And you need money to fund everything, right? You got studio gear, you got cover art, you got mixing if you don't do it yourself. If you're doing shows, you gotta book the venue, video shoots, you booking the videographer, you booking the crew, you booking the space, all that shit, right? And it all adds up quick, and you're gonna look up and like, damn, I got a $10,000, $20,000, wait, I done spent $100,000. Like, that's a reality, right? And so you gotta find ways to fund your art, and also think about overhead. If I could be the producer, I don't gotta pay the producer X amount for a beat. If I can shoot my videos in a creative way, then I don't have to pay a videographer as often, right? Like, there might be a bandwidth thing where you bring people in those certain moments, so that way you can get things off your plate so you can do other things, but make it a choice. Any extra money you got can go into pushing the music once it's already out, and you're gonna need money to fund the push of the music when it's already out, whether that be influencer marketing, you're gonna have to pay them, advertising through Facebook ads or YouTube ads, whatever the case may be. All of that shit costs money. So the less you can spend on creating the actual music, the better off you're gonna be. Truth number 4, it's not who you know, it's what they're willing to do for you. God damn, I'm gonna say that again for the people in the back. It's not who you know, it's what they're willing to do for you. Dreebo, what you mean by that, man? You know, a lot of times we hear it's who you know, networking, blah, blah, blah. Like, that's true. All that is true. Networking is extremely important. Who you know is extremely important. But what's more important than who you know is what they're willing to do for you. And how you get people willing to do things when you ask them is by providing value, right? Like, if somebody views you as valuable, when you ask for that favor, finally, right? They're more willing to actually do it. So to give y'all a real life example, if y'all don't know, I did a song with Damian Lillard in 2020 called Home Team. Shout out my boy Brookfield Deuce. He contacted me. Dame got this record, need a hook, blah, 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 right? Me, I could have been like, all right, I had some motion. I already had songs with Larry June. I had a song with like E40 or some shit. Like, I had some motion and shit. I done a couple things at this time. So I could have been like, all right, yeah, I'm gonna need 5 racks. You know what I mean? I'm gonna need X amount, knowing that he can actually pay for it. Or I could provide value, understanding that this is somebody who I respect his athletic career, I respect as an artist, and I fuck with him, and I would love to build a long-standing relationship with, right? So I did a hook, boom, sent it back, fuck with it. Song dropped like 2 months later, ended up being on the album, blah, blah, blah. Fast forward 3 years later, you know, we stay connected, all that through the time, whatever. Fast forward 3 years later, my brother-in-law is getting married, right? They're getting married in Portland. They lived in Portland. And they asked me to perform at their wedding. Hey, man, we want you to perform Shut the Fuck Up at the wedding. I'm like, all right, yeah, I got y'all. So as I'm preparing for that, I'm thinking, I'm like, man, we gonna be in Portland. At this time, Dame was getting ready to leave Portland. It was like trade rumors and all that. It was just the back and forth. And I was like, man, that kind of would be tight if I brought Dame out to perform with me. Right? So I shot my shot. I asked for the favor, and ultimately Dame showed up and performed for me. And then that moment went on to be featured on TMZ and all these big shits, whatever. It was everywhere, right? It was just like a whole thing in the moment. And I bring up that story to say, like, because I was somebody that provided value initially and stayed connected to him through those 3 years, he was more willing to be like, you know what? I know him, but I fuck with him enough to actually pull up and show up and follow through. With all that being said, leads us to truth number 5. The truth number 5 is the freedom is worth the fight. You feel me? Like, the ups and downs, the headaches, the trials and tribulations, bro, it all is worth it. You know what I mean? Being an independent artist, like, is one of the most powerful things. You know, you get to move how you want. You get to drop how you want. You get to sound how you want. You don't gotta ask for no permission. Like, nobody owns you but you. Nobody takes responsibility. Nobody takes the credit. It's all you. It's on you. You're gonna take you as far as you wanna go. You can move and switch and pivot. You can do whatever the fuck you wanna do. And there's beauty in that, right? And you might take longer to blow up. Like, it might not come as fast as with the machine behind you, but when it hits, it's yours. Like, you own it fully. And that's the power of being independent, the freedom of being independent, the benefits of being independent. So if you're an independent artist grinding right now, man, make sure you hit the comments and let me know which one of these truths hit the hardest for you. And if you want more content like this, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the like button. It's free. Why not? Support your boy. Put me up in the algorithm. You feel me? Turn on post notifications, because I do be having live streams, but I don't got a schedule. So, you feel me? Turn on notifications so you know when I go live, behind the scenes cook-ups. I'm gonna be dropping some more content like this about the music industry, content, strategies, being an independent artist, all kind of shit. So make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. And as always, I don't know when, I don't know how long it's gonna take, I don't know what the method is gonna be.